Hello, I'm Michael.
I'm Sally, and this is Wrestle MSX.
One half of the women's WWE Tag Team Champions opened the show, Bianca Belair, and she was facing off against Tiffany Stratton in SmackDown's first quarter-final of Queen of the Ring.
Stratton worked Belair's knee, which was clearly still hurting from last week's match. It was a pretty even contest, with Belair just about shading it and deserved to win in the end, where she'll face either Nia Jax or her tag team partner in the semi-final. All in all though, it was a good opening match.
It was actually, yeah. Next we see Tonga doing his best Tiny Warrior impression from Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. You know the one. We then see Paul Heyman asking Solo Sikoa if he talked to him today. All the time, wise man, all the time, came the reply. So can we take away from that Solo is talking to himself? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, the Bloodline then head to the ring for Tama's quarter-final King of the Ring match against LA Knight.
The Bloodline surrounded the ring as LA Knight took control. This distraction was enough for Tonga to get a little offense in before Knight took control again. Tangaloa then pulled Tama out of the ring for a save, only for Knight to hit him with a baseball slide and then throw Tonga back into the ring. Knight then spoke a little trash to Solo before getting himself back in the ring. As he did, Tama hit a flatliner, got the 1-2-3 and qualified for the semi-final of King of the Ring.
Up next, a contract signing between Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. It was confirmed before both wrestlers came out that both belts would be on the line at the King and Queen of the Ring tournament by Nick Aldis. Cody started the verbal jousting by saying Paul wasn't a fan, he's just a tourist passing through, which to be fair, he is really. As Paul was about to sign the contract, he tore it up, saying he didn't agree to those conditions, which was both belts on the line. So Paul pulled out his own contract, which inevitably was just for Cody's undisputed belt. So no champion versus champion, which is a shame. Both belts on the line would have been a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But what's more interesting is that seemingly you can now make up your own contract.
Next match is Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill, and to be honest, I've been looking forward to this one. Both powerhouses, big moves, and both with a point to prove. This was the other quarter-final Queen of the Ring, winner facing Bianca Belair in the semis.
Well, that went out of the window. Cargill getting disqualified for hitting Jax with a chair. Both women had ended up outside the ring when Nia swung at Jade with a chair. Cargill stopped Jax, takes the chair off her and returns the favour by hitting Jax with the chair instead. The ref naturally called for the bell and the match was thrown out, disqualifying Cargill. The two women carried on fighting before being separated by officials. Naturally, Jax progresses to the semi-final. Back from the break, we have DIY against Lagardo Del Fantasma, with A-Town Down Under watching from ringside. Grace and Wallace said DIY were cosplaying as their bosses, which to be fair is pretty on point. I'm just saying you need to get your own gimmick, lads. And seeing as we'd had the WWE Twitch stream on Thursday and the Uncle Howdy stuff, I was hoping there wouldn't be any more QR codes, but how wrong we were.
As usual, a QR code popped up during the entrances. After scanning the code, you go to a video. It's a picture of a child in a Halloween costume and the repeated line of, "He is all of us, he is nobody," being played over the top in a Stephen Hawking style voice. Under the video, you can make out the word veiled rude. Veiled meaning something that's covered and rude meaning a religious symbol. Scroll down the webpage a little more and you'll see a date, the 7th of April 2014, which is when the Wyatt family, Wyatt, Harper and Rowans, took on Cena, Big E and Sheamus. Scroll down the page a little more and you'll see a small circle. Click on this and you get a picture of a person's arm. And then finally at the bottom of the page is a selectable picture of a crow. When clicked on, this takes you to Thursday's psychiatric stream from Twitch with Uncle Howdy.
See, I've been thinking, right, it's not a crow, so it's not Sting coming back. I'm going with Raven. He's coming back. You heard it here first. Anyway, back to the wrestling, because that's what we're all here for. A Garza special gets a 2 count, but meet in the middle is enough to finish off Humberto with DIY picking up the win. After the match, we actually hear the commentators mention the QR code and actually address what's happened, even passing comment on the Twitch stream from Thursday.
We then see Byron Saxton asking AJ Styles where he goes next after a tough couple of weeks. His retort, Nick Aldis' office next week. I mean, to be fair, he could have gone straight away. But very insightful from AJ.
Final match of the night and the last quarter-final of the men's King of the Ring. Randy Orton against Carmello Hayes. But just before we get underway, we get a quick word from Bayley, who's with Byron Saxton in the back. As they talk, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven interrupt, with Bayley issuing a match between her and Niven next week.
Back in the ring with Orton and Hayes. Hayes gives Orton a slap to the back of the head, which fires up the Viper and causes him to hit Hayes with some fearsome offence, including 3 back body drops to the announcer's table.
After the break, we see Hayes fully in control, working over Orton's knee. Then, as Hayes is coming down from what looks like a springboard clothesline off the middle rope,
out of nowhere,
he gets hit with an RKO. Orton then covers the dazed Hayes and picks up the win to progress to the semi-final, where he'll face Tama Tonga. As Orton's about to speak after the match, out come the Bloodline. Before they get a word in edgeways, Orton grabs a mic and cuts them short, running down the Bloodline, saying he's going to introduce his boot to Tama Tonga's behind, before then reintroducing him to the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment, RKO. And to be fair, I'd like to see Orton win King of the Ring.
I would also.
I think it's another feather in his cap, and it would really cement his legacy. But I do feel a bad guy for the King of the Ring, or heel, suits winning the King of the Ring better, because I think a bad guy can do more with it. So I'd like Orton to be crowned champion, but I'm still going to go with Gunther. But we'll cover that later on. Anyway, thanks again for watching.
And we'll see you again next time.